between Evergreen and Nymph as it moves off to the east here. This is Brooklyn Road here, and this is Highway 84. And what happens is US 31 comes up into Evergreen and then splits off towards Travis Bridge. It goes on up to the northeast. 84 continues east. So this is both US 31 and Highway 84 here, and then the road splits. And based on the track of this thing, it just cleared US 31. It's going to keep tracking east. It's really going to be more of a potential issue for Highway 84, but it may clip the Rab community here. There has been a little northward movement, even though it's technically east, maybe a little north of east as it tracks across parts of Conecuh County. So out ahead of it, Haygood Road, Centerville Lane, Brooklyn Road, County Road 35, Peace Circle, the Rab community, and US 31, all areas that are in the path for this possible tornado. And this is right now a radar indicated tornado. It is not a confirmed tornado. However, looking at the velocity here, the rotation is very strong. The circulation is strengthening, and it may be producing a tornado. And if it's not producing a tornado, it may produce one at any time. We do not see any well-defined debris. However, as we look in here, we'll be watching for that possibility. It's going to pop up right in here, and it can be cloaked by hail and other things. This is a long ways away from the radar itself too, so that may limit our ability to see the debris. Looking at the hail signature with this, we are getting what appears to be some small hail on Interstate 65, and that would be the first Evergreen exit here, 3/4 of an inch with the possible hail there crossing Interstate 65. So you actually have 3 Evergreen exits. There's one right in here, then you've got one at Highway 84, you've got another one at 83. That's the main interchange, and your rotation area is going to be on the south side of town. So J Villa Road, Bruner Avenue, south side of US 31 and 84. Just cleared US 31. This is 3184 here, and there's your rotation area, and it's going a little north of due east as it tracks across Conecuh County. Ahead of it, you have the Nymph community. It's going to be a close call. If you're on the north side of Nymph or the south side of Evergreen, you need to be seeking shelter. Main Street turns into what we call Brooklyn Road, and the Haygood Road is also in the path of the storm. J.P. Howard Road and County Road 35. These are some other streets that are potentially going to be impacted by this tornado as it moves on off towards the east and a little to the east-northeast with a rapid forward speed here. And looking at it, it's headed towards US 31. If it continues, it'll be out around Big Sky Lane, Lizard Loop Road or Loper Road right there, and then further out towards Mount Union, the Mount Union community. You may be in this warning as this circulation continues a little north of Brooklyn and Paul, which is going to be down in through here in this bottom corner down along the Sepulga River here. There's Brooklyn Road here in the southeast corner of Conecuh County. So Mount Union, Nymph, County Road 29, Brooklyn Road, and the Cohasset community also, which is beyond Mount Union, may be impacted by the circulation as it races to the east, moving east at 45 miles an hour here. And this is the same cell that prompted the tornado damage. It's not confirmed, but we saw a very strong signature, a tornado debris signature. We had a lot of rotation, and we've got reports of damage along Highway 43 near Cedar Creek Landing and the Movico area, which is between Creola and Mount Vernon, and we have a crew there now, so we do have damage there. We're going to bring some of that to you as well. South of Evergreen here, we are looking at our rotation area for a tornado warning, which is in Conecuh County, and that will stay in effect until it looks like it's going to stay in effect until 2:30 p.m. So we are looking at that, and we do want to go now live to the damage that this caused earlier, and we have Dacian Smith who's on the scene. Dacian, can you describe the scene, what's going on there along Highway 43? Tell us where you are.
Hey Jason, we are right here on Highway 43, right here at Cedar Creek Landing, and as you can see behind me, the damage is pretty extensive. It did take a little bit to get up here because of some down power lines, but thankfully those have been cleared. Highway traffic on Highway 43 had been stopped for a while, but thankfully that's been moved. That's back open. Traffic is flowing pretty slowly though because there is a lot of damage. But over here on Cedar Creek Landing. You can see this house did have, looks like the complete roof ripped off of it. Part of it you can see is hanging in the tree, that metal roof right there. There also is a lot of damage farther down the road. See some machines already started trying to pick up the tree limbs and everything to kind of get this road cleared. We were able to speak with somebody who lives on the other side of Highway 43 once we were able to get out of the storm tracker. He said he was here when all this happened, and his first thought, he had heard tornado warnings in this area before. He didn't think too much of it originally, but then once the wind started picking up, he said he stepped outside, he looked outside to see what was going on, saw a lot of sparks flying on the power lines, and immediately just took cover. Said at one point he was fearing for his life, and his first instinct was really just to check on his wife and his grandmother. His grandmother stays a little bit farther up the road. Thankfully, they didn't get too much damage, but over here on the other side of Highway 43, definitely a different story. One other person just came up to me who didn't want to go on camera, said a couple of these houses, you can't even tell that they were complete houses after this storm went through. The rain has picked up a little bit, but still, if you're in this area, still a lot of emergency crews. So again, Highway 43 is back open, but take it slowly if you have to come this way. A lot of emergency crews out here trying to direct traffic, trying to help get things cleaned up. If you don't have to come this way, it's best not to, but if you're trying to get home, if you're trying to check on your property, your loved ones, definitely take it slow. So we're out here still just getting a first look at the damage. I see in the distance another tree limb looks like it's about to break off in a second, but we'll keep you updated as we get more images of all this damage that came out here. Jason?
Not a good looking scene there at all. Unfortunately, a significant tornado or possible tornado hitting the Mount Vernon area on the south side of Mount Vernon around Cedar Creek Road and Highway 43. Thanks to Dacian Smith for that report. More details coming up on Fox 10 News at 4. Back to the live tornado warning we have going on right now. There is a circulation here that is capable of producing a tornado. This is not a confirmed tornado. It's going to be located on the southeast part of Evergreen in Conecuh County. We are in Conecuh County. It is now clearing the Nymph community, and it's getting very close to Mount Union and Rab. It looks like it may pass a little on the south side of Rab, and this is Brooklyn Road right here, so we do expect to see the circulation continuing east across Brooklyn Road. There it is there. This is US 31 and Highway 84 combined in the Rab community, and then US 31 is going to continue up towards Travis Bridge. 84 continues due east. This circulation is more of a potential issue for Highway 84. Rocking Horse Lane, Winston Harper Road, County Road 43 here. As we get over towards Coburn Road, these are all some of the roadways that may be impacted by this possible tornado as it comes through. There's also a lot of lightning with it, and also the possibility of hail. A high concentration of lightning strikes with this severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado here in Conecuh County, and this warning is going to stay up for about the next 27 minutes. It's going to be in effect until 2:30 p.m. and you can see a high level of reflectivity, very heavy rainfall there. We are under a tornado watch for most of the area, and that's going to stay in effect through this afternoon. Some of the counties may drop off of this tornado watch as the line clears, but we do have active weather anticipated for the middle part of the afternoon this afternoon. By this evening, we should start to see some improvements. It does look like behind this line here, Greene County, George County, we are starting to look at a lower severe weather threat. This is the line that's associated directly with the surface cold front. But we have had a couple of cells ahead of the main line, and that's one of those there that's going on up into Conecuh County. We had a little bit of hail reported in Sims on our Facebook page. We just saw that report as well. That's going to be right to the east of Wilmer. Out of this here, it's crossing Big Creek Lake, so look for a very hefty thunderstorm. It may have some hail associated with it too as it crosses the Moffett Road area, comes in along Highway 98 and continues to track on off to the east towards Mobile. So we do have heavy downpours going on there. And this line will continue tracking east. Couple of pockets of heavy rain that we're watching. One here in Baldwin County, one in Mobile County, one in northern Mobile County. And then farther to the north, we've got our tornado warned storm right here in Conecuh County. And there's quite a bit of lightning going on with this one here, Jennifer. You know, you can see a high concentration of strikes. We also still have some rotation. This is a pretty good ways away from our radar site, but we do see strong rotation in this storm.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Jason. And so I just want to remind folks that as we're tracking this system, that we're starting to see some of these isolated storms ahead of it, but then we still have that whole line coming in behind it. We just saw that live report from Mount Vernon. If you're in that area, just make sure you're going ahead, staying inside, staying off the roadways. It's so important for those emergency vehicles to be able to get to where they need to go, especially ahead of that line that still has to make its way through the Mount Vernon area. So as we just take a look at what the big picture is looking like, there is a lot going on here along the Gulf Coast. We look in just a little bit closer and you can really start to see that Mount Vernon there is really starting to see some of that heavy rain. They are right on that line, beginning to push in heavy downpours, frequent lightning, also gusty winds are possible along this line as well. The severe weather event is still going on. The good news is that northern Clark County, northern Washington County, Greene County, George County, you are out of the severe weather now. You have seen the storm push through, and now you can start to see some of those clear conditions as it continues to push away from you. And I do want to remind folks that we've been getting reports of power lines down once the system pushes through. We are live streaming. You can go to our Fox 10 weather app, our Fox 10 news app. You can watch our live stream coverage there. Also, we have our Facebook Live going as well. So I'm just continuing to see some of these reports. I got some of them earlier, but Gwen Ellis was the one that told us that it was hailing in Sims. Hail is also going to be a potential to see into today. We have heavy downpours, frequent lightning, gusty straight line winds, but also that hail, that tornado is possible heading further on into the rest of today. So we're going to continue to keep you updated. No updates from the National Weather Center, Weather Service, about this tornado warning. That last update just says that this is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. We saw that earlier. This is the same system that moved through Mount Vernon, brought in that very damaging tornado there that had that debris signature that was very strong. We just got that update from Dacian showing the extreme damage, those mobile homes that have been flipped over. So this is considerable so far that we're seeing for today, and it's still continuing. If you're in Mobile, Baldwin counties, it might be quiet where you are right now, but we're still tracking some of those potential storms to continue to push through. So I'm looking in just elsewhere. If you're hearing some of these thunderstorms, if you're not in that tornado warned area, central Baldwin County, Gateswood, Stapleton, Malbus, even the Daphne areas, some parts of the eastern shore starting to see some of that heavy rainfall. Southern Mobile County, Dauphin Island, you're seeing some of that rain. But as the system just continues to push further towards the east, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, you're about to start to see some of that heavy rain, and also additional areas in central Mobile, Saraland, Satsuma, you're about to start to see some of that heavy rainfall as well as that line approaches closer towards you. Now, the only thing that we've been getting so far is just some updates about what's going on with this tornado watch. They are still expecting this to continue to stay in effect for where it currently is. And also that they are considering continuing to issue some severe thunderstorm warnings out there. So where we are starting to see that tornado warning right now, there's still also a severe thunderstorm warning in addition to that, showing that they are expecting considerable damage regardless of the tornado threat and the rotation. This contains very gusty winds. Wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour have been radar indicated, showing that it's very gusty and breezy within that. We've been seeing some of that lightning as well, very loud storm as it continues to push through. Now we're going to keep you updated right here on what's going on so far with this system. The good news is that the National Weather Service is also recognizing that this is starting to look a little bit less impressive with that rotation. Typically we look for some of those tight colors together, but it's broadening out, it's flattening out just a little bit, so that is some good news there. But we'll keep you updated as we continue further on into this afternoon. Just make sure you stay weather aware, have that Fox 10 weather app downloaded, and we'll keep you updated. Jason. Yeah,
checking it out, the National Weather Service did reinforce the idea that we have a severe thunderstorm warning here. We are still technically under a tornado warning here as well, even though this may be more of a mid-level circulation. And you're now to the east of Evergreen Municipal Park around Brooklyn Road, and now starting to work out towards Cohasset and Mount Union. So there's Mount Union right there. Here is Cohasset. Cohasset, and so that is your rotation area there. Should be in Conecuh County for about the next 10 to 15 minutes, and then it will move on off to the east and be outside of our area. We are under a tornado watch for a lot of counties until 5 p.m., so the threat for severe weather will continue through the afternoon. Looking at where we have the tornado watch, it's going to be all these counties in yellow. Now, the main line is cleared green in Georgia, so those may drop off, but some of the counties to the east still under tornado watches, including Mobile County, Baldwin County, Escambia, Santa Rosa, also Washington, Clark, Monroe, Conecuh, and Escambia counties in our forecast area. Then looking inside of these counties, we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. One is for extreme northern Monroe County. The other one here is co-located with the storm that has prompted the tornado warning, which is along Highway US 31 in Conecuh County. And this is going to be now well south and east of Evergreen. It looks like it's cleared Evergreen with the rotation area, and the area of concern is going to be very close to Highway 84, right on the south side of 84 near Mount Union and Cohasset. This is going to be north of Brooklyn and Paul. In fact, this warning has been continued as it heads over into Covington County, just north of Andalusia, along Highway 55 and along Highway 29. And we do expect the warned storm to continue on off towards the east. There's a look at it. It is really zipping along. The forward speed on this thing about 50 to 55 miles per hour. And your rotation area now is going to essentially be right on top of Highway 84 near Mount Union and Cohasset. As we look at it, it's tracking east towards the Sepulga River, which is over on the east side here. You can see how the county line gets squiggly right there, and it's going to continue to track on towards Red Level. That's going to be one of the communities that's ahead of this area of concern. So the severe thunderstorm warning has been continued, but also the tornado warning will continue over into Conecuh County, from Conecuh County into Covington County as it moves along Highway 84. And taking a look at it, the warning here, want to see what's going on as far as street level right along Highway 84. And we've got the Cohasset community. This is County Road 43. We've got Frank Carter Road. We're looking at Eula Grooms Road there, and it looks like Huggins Plantation Road, Barrow Lane. And so if you hear your name mentioned here, the road, then you know you're in the path of this possible tornado. This is Doppler radar indicated here in Conecuh County. All right, I'm going to throw meteorologist Jennifer Lambers a curveball. Jen, can you pull up the traffic tracker for Highway 43 right now in Mount Vernon? Because we have had some significant reports of damage along Highway 43, and I want to show folks what's going on here. So if you're traveling in northern Mobile County, especially, and this is just south of the steel plant in Mount Vernon, okay, and it's just north of Berry Steam Plant and areas near Axis, and so there's a lot of travel on Highway 43. And looking at the road here on Highway 43, there is Cedar Creek Landing Road. We've had reports of damage there. This is Movico Loop Road east and west, and also Kelly Road right there. That is where we have the most significant delays, and it looks like a tornado went right across Highway 43 about an hour ago, and that is right south of Mount Vernon. And so as a result, we have a major traffic delay going on here on Highway 43 in northeastern Mobile County. So that's one of the things I just wanted to update you on. Bad idea to be traveling for 2 reasons. Number one, we have debris on the roadways. We have a lot of emergency service and personnel there trying to get in. And then finally, we got another batch of thunderstorms about to roll in through that area. On the east side of Conecuh County is where we currently have our warning. The rotation area, that looks like they just trimmed back the warning box a little, so now parts of Evergreen and Nymph that were included in this have been taken out. And now this warning continued until 2:30. That's going to be specifically for areas here here as we look at it near red level. Red level is going to be over into Covington County, but also Cohasset here along Highway 84. And our rotation area here, just another couple of volume scans, and this will be out of our viewing area. It will cross over here around Rawls Road, Huggins Plantation Road, and track east and be out of Conecuh County and over into Covington County. So we do see that rotation area rapidly making progress off to the east. This afternoon has been very, very busy from the Storm Tracker Center. We've got crews out assessing the damage on Highway 43, where we have significant damage from what was very likely a tornado. It's not a confirmed tornado, but we saw the rotation. We had the tornado debris signature on radar. Very highly likely that that was a significant, strong tornado there in the Mount Vernon area. We'll bring those pictures to you and update you on that coming up on Fox 10 News at 4 p.m. We've already checked in with meteorologist Dacian Smith on the damage there, so definitely covering that one for you. Looking at it here, we are on live for a tornado warning in Conecuh County that is actually associated with the same thunderstorm that caused the tornado damage, or the possible tornado damage, there around Cedar Creek and Highway 43. This is the same cell. It's just further along. It's cycled, so it produced a tornado. It crossed the Mobile-Tensas Delta. It lifted somewhere around Tensas and Latham. Now it has been reissued here for right on the Covington County, Conecuh County line here. And then we have a lot of thunderstorms coming through the area too, so some active weather there. Let's go over to reflectivity. I want to show you where it's raining, where it's not, and where the back edge of the rain is. There's a ton of lightning in Conecuh County. Evergreen's not included in a tornado warning right now, but it is really popping and firing right now with the lightning and thunder. We've had 394 strikes within the last 15 minutes in the Evergreen area, and we also have a very high concentration of heavy rainfall in Evergreen. Now your tornado warning storm is going to be right out here near a red level. There's also a high probability of some hail with that one there, with the reflectivity values being as high as they are. In fact, Jennifer's pulling up that hail scope right now, and we're looking inside of it. We may have some very large hail on the north side of Highway 84. You can see why we're under a warning here for severe thunderstorms. Possible 1-inch hail just north of Cohasset, and that's going to be between Highway 84 and US 31. We've got the community of Travis Bridge right there, and this large hail core is going towards County Road 24. So it's getting out near Big Barn Road, and it'll continue tracking to the east towards the Covington County and the Conecuh County line. Got some big hail there going on. We don't see any other hail with our hail tracker, but we did have a report of some hail in the Sims area with some of these cells back here, and the Mount Vernon, Tensas area. You know, we just had a possible tornado rip through there. You're looking at your live picture. We've got heavy rain bearing down on that location right now. It may be a little bit to the north of that spot there. Thankfully, we're not wanting any more rain in the Cedar Creek area after having seen what appears to be a tornado touching down there. Heavy rain in parts of Baldwin County too. So we did get a report there in Washington County of a ping pong ball size hail there, and that would have been at 12:41 p.m. So that's been a while, been about an hour and a half. But we had some big hail here in Washington County over near Kenton, but that's an old report. So these cells have had the potential of producing large hail, and we are getting some of those reports still coming in. Bands of rain are coming through it along Highway 98, Mount Vernon to Tensas, the Saraland area. Behind this, I can't say we're in a complete all clear, but it does look like the atmospheric profile appears to be more stable behind that line there. And into Covington County, and we still remain under a tornado warning technically for Conecuh County, correct?
Yes, we are. Luckily, it is starting to move out of Conecuh County, that area of rotation. Also, I did want to go ahead and share some other reports that I've received, is that there were some other nickel-sized hail at Little River in Baldwin County. Also, I was reading some of the reports from people on our Facebook Live. So in case you're watching there, I do read the comments, and I've definitely gotten a few reports from people talking just about the rain. That they've been driving out in this, and that it's really creating hazardous conditions. So I do want to go ahead and remind folks too that we're starting to see some ponding water on the roadways. Make sure you're taking it easy. Make sure your headlights are on. I had someone talking about that they couldn't even see the cars in front of them, and some were driving without their headlights or their tail lights on. Make sure those those are on. That way you're visible to other drivers. Just make sure you're being careful out there. Someone was talking about Calvert. Joshua Smith was talking about Calvert, how much it's been raining there, that they've received a lot of rain so far. So really just be cautious. We're seeing all modes of severe weather for today. The wind, the hail, the rain, the lightning, and also that tornado that we did receive, that confirmed tornado in Mount Vernon earlier today. Our Dacian Smith live on the scene there, bringing you some of that coverage as well, just on the side of your screen. They're kind of just panning back and forth to show everything that they've seen. Damage to the roofs, mobile homes flipped over, power lines down. Also, that's a good view right there. Whenever I go to school visits or I talk about severe weather, I always remind folks, make sure that you get away from windows, just because you can see in that camera there, he's cleaning it off just a little bit. Unfortunately, it's raining in Mount Vernon right now after all of this came through, but that window is completely bashed in. And once you have these tornadoes push through, bringing in all of this wind, that you're going to have that glass flying around. So that's why it's always important to go into a bathroom, a closet, something that's away from a door or a window. And that right there shows you the importance of it. Also, we always remind folks too that whenever the severe weather comes around, mobile homes aren't really going to be the best option for you. If you have no other place to go, then that will be it. But always try and go to a more sturdy structure, just because we've been seeing considerable damage so far in the Mount Vernon area. We're going to continue to keep you updated on that damage, on the reports of it, but I do want to remind you as well, if you live in that area, if you're going to be traveling through Mount Vernon, please try and stay off the roadways. Emergency management's been having a lot of issues, just because Highway 43 is going to be the only option to drive through the majority of that area. And there's been a lot of cars there. I know it's a busy road, but they've had to be clearing some of those power lines down. And it's just been hard for those emergency vehicles to be getting through, especially the grass isn't really the best option right now with all of this water that we've been seeing. So it's hard to drive through that as well. So just make sure you're being careful out there. We'll keep you updated here on Fox 10. But as of right now, that tornado warning still in effect, beginning to push out of Conecuh County and also beginning to look a bit more broad. But you have to be careful with these systems, since it was a confirmed tornado on the ground earlier when it moved through Mount Vernon. This is going to be the same cell system as it was. But going ahead, checking in on radar once again. Here's the broad look. Clark County, you are almost completely clear. Washington County, same. You are clear from this. George, Greene counties in Mississippi, you are clear from the severe weather threat for today. But we're starting to see this approach closer towards northern Baldwin County. Mount Vernon, Tensas, you just saw that tornado move through earlier, but now you're starting to see all of that heavy rain in the wake of it. Lightning and thunder as well. Mobile County continuing to see this track through Saraland, Sims, Magnolia Grove, Big Creek Lake. If you're in Midtown Mobile, if you're in West Mobile, if you're in downtown, you're not quite seeing a lot of this yet, but it is on the way. This line, gusty winds are possible along that front, but also we've been getting quite a few reports of hail too. Got a report not too long ago in Sims from the system. So far, no updates from the National Weather Service in terms of this tornado warning. It's still continuing, but it is pushing out of Conecuh County. So hopefully we'll have an update here soon, Jason.
Definitely an active weather afternoon, unfortunately, and as we bring you the live coverage on the tail end of this tornado warning for Conecuh County, we also want to keep the pictures up here on the corner of your screen as to what we're seeing, and you can see it looks like a mobile home that was flipped over around the Mount Vernon area. This is going to be the south side of Mount Vernon, between there and Axis. Just off of Highway 43, you have a couple of roads there. You got the Kelly Road area, Movico Loop Road, east and west, and then you have Cedar Creek Landing Road, which is a river landing off the Mobile River, located north of Berry Steam Plant. And it appears that mobile home was flipped over, which shows the vulnerability of mobile homes in a tornadic event. There's also a lot of insulation up in the trees, and we have windows knocked out as well, but it looks like that mobile home lifted up and off of its foundation. Hopefully everybody's okay, or folks were at work and not in that mobile home there at the time. Looking at what's going on here right now, there is a warning still in effect technically for Conecuh County until 2:30 p.m. However, the rotation area is now over red level, which places the rotation area over into Covington County. So it has the rotation area away from Highway 84 now. It's up along Highway 55, and it's really outside our forecast area. It's over into Conecuh County. So things are looking better for Conecuh County, even though we still have some reports of potential hail here up near and north of Mount Union and Cohasset along Highway 84, and very heavy rain going on all the way back to Evergreen with a lot of lightning. The tornado warning, if it's not allowed to expire early, it will be in effect for about the next 6 to 7 minutes for Conecuh County, but we've seen the rough stuff already go through there as far as the potential for rotation, and everything else looks more in the possibilities of being a severe thunderstorm type situation for the Gulf Coast region with the remaining bands of rain that we have going on over the forecast area right now. Multiple bands in Mobile County and in Baldwin County, and also some activity there. So we've got an update here, a mesoscale discussion that just came down, and it just says that the storms continue to develop on the squall line, and the tornado threat is going to continue to develop in this area. So we're going to watch that as we go through the afternoon. We'll have full coverage coming up on Fox 10 News at 4 p.m. And if we see anything else that's potentially tornadic or get new information, we'll bring it to you right here on Fox 10. Thanks for trusting us to keep you safe this